Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order, welcome to Panwo TV. Well, I've just come back from a fantastic weekend near Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk. I went to the Rendlesham Forest Incident Conference, and I also went on a tour of Rendlesham Forest, and this is what this film is about. The conference was excellent. I want to thank Gordy and Dave and everyone else who organised it, and Larry Warren and Gary Hazeltine and Richard Dolan and John Burrows, who were the speakers. Really good job. Loads of people. I met up with some old friends and some new friends and some people I knew, like Sandra Shufflebottom, who I've never met, but I've been on a radio show, and oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's quite arduous, and it sort of goes on. It's a sort of late night conference. It starts in the mid evening and goes right through till about midnight. So I was sort of, a lot of people. There's a few bags under the eyes at the end of it, and you know, my eyelids were getting heavy, and that's to be expected. Really good stuff. Larry Warren spoke and Gary Hazeltine did a double act. They often do those, and they're good at them. About this famous letter which Larry Warren posted to his mother, and this is one that he posted in on December the 6th, 1981, which is just literally less than a fortnight after the Rendlesham Forest incident itself. Now, if it's proved to be correct, then it becomes the first ever documented evidence that the Rendlesham Forest incident happened, because the Holt memo took place on the 13th of January. It also is a great vindication for Larry, because people kept saying that Larry was a fantasist and a wannabe and kept making it up. Well, this proves that not only was he in the US Air Force, and he was in on Woodbridge Bentwater's base, it proves that he was involved in the incident where people try to deny it. John Burrows came on. He's an interesting guy. In fact, I did an interview with him on the Panwo show, link in the description box, and he's a lovely chap. I really enjoyed interviewing him, and it's pretty good stuff. And then he spoke about his own experience to do with his medical records and things like that, because he has experienced health problems, just like Larry has, and the Veterans Administration in America could not get hold of his medical records because of they said they were classified. So why would medical records be classified? And his doctor today can't help him because he can't get access to these medical records. It's ridiculous. And then the last speaker of the evening was a guy I've never seen at Woodbridge before. That was Richard Dolan. Now, Richard Dolan is a historian, and he was and he studies UFOs. He's written lots of books about UFOs. I've read 2 of them. He's got a new book out. I'll be saying more about that in future episodes, in future programs, when I've been to the Exopolitics conference. But he did a speech, a really interesting speech about disclosure and things like that. And John Burrows touched on the issue of disclosure as opposed to confirmation, which is where the aliens tell us that they're here. But it was absolutely fascinating stuff. I mean, he's Richard Dolan. I've always liked him and always respected him, but I think he's actually got better over the last couple of years and more with it. And I'm very much looking forward to meeting him at the Exopolitics conference next week. And that's a point, right? If you can get to Leeds for next weekend, from Friday to Sunday, it's the 6th annual Leeds British Exopolitics Expo, with Stephen Bassett, Richard Dolan, who was there at the event, and several other people. Go to Exopolitics Great Britain for more information. And the host will be me. That's right, your very own humble servant, Ben Emlyn Jones. I will be the host and master of ceremonies for that event, so please do get there if you can. Okay, with no further ado, we're going to begin the little reportage which I filmed in Rendlesham Forest. You're going to find it very interesting, I can guarantee. It's the first time I've been in Rendlesham Forest in daylight. It begins with a nighttime segment, but don't worry, that was just the evening after the conference when we went up to the forest. The rest of it's in daylight. Now, some people have asked me about Dr. Jonathan Reed, because of course in the afternoon before the main conference there was this little private lecture by Dr. Jonathan Reed. What people say, is there any film? Yes, I've made a film of that, alright, I have recorded it. Dr. Reed asked me to, so did Derek Savory, who organised the event. I can't upload it yet, okay, because I've got a few things, I've got a bit of admin I've got to deal with connected to that, but it will be available as soon as possible. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this. It's Rendlesham Forest 2014.
It fell off a helicopter.
Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Paranormal TV, and I'm back in Rendlesham Forest again. Only it's a bit warmer than the last time I was here, but I'm here with some friends of mine. That's Derek there.
How are we doing there?
Alright, it's Derek. And that's Steve. And Andy. That's right, so we're now going to have a little look around. I'm coming back here tomorrow in the daylight before I go home. I want to see this place in daylight. But unfortunately, it started raining after all the dry weather we've had lately. It's now raining lightly, so and it's cloudy overhead. We're going to go and see what we can see. We're going to head off to Eastgate and see what we can find out. So, see you in a minute. Well, Paranormal TV viewers, this is Eastgate. Now, I've been here before, if you remember. Now, you can't see it. Oh, in fact, someone here's got a really powerful torch. This gentleman here has a massively powerful torch. In fact, I'll switch off the night light. That is amazing. I tell you, look how much you can see. Of course, this part of the base seems to be sort of semi-derelict now. Yeah. It's not a base anymore. It's still owned by the Ministry of Defence, but they use it as a training centre. And there's some barracks here.
We get through the fence. Derek, I don't know whether Derek will want to, but there's a site. You go in the old silos over there. They're quite eerie.
That hot row, yeah. There's a hot. You can get to. I've been on Greenham Common, and yeah, I've been on Greenham Common. You get the old hot row there, and it's really it's got a real bad energy to it. You can feel it.
A little while ago we come down here and we were talking to me and Derek took some dog walkers and they said, oh, we come here and we come back to the car park and we saw a green light hovering above the car park.
Oh, right.
Guys walking their dogs.
Blimey.
And it's like, what?
It is locked though, you can't get, there's no security police, but it's locked. You still can't get in.
They apparently patrol this. Apparently.
You could get over that if you wanted to.
Yeah, security's not that tough around here. This is not. It's actually not that much better sealed off than Greenham Common, which is now almost it's virtually a public park.
Well, someone's having a go at this, haven't they?
Someone's trying to get through. Yeah, look. Yeah. So this is the famous Eastgate, ladies and gentlemen, Paranormal TV viewers. I'm here. It's the rain stopped a little bit now. It's not so bad now. And a few people here. We just bumped into a few people who sort of. They've got their deck chairs out and their camp chairs, and they're sort of like camping out. So we're now going to follow Derek to the next point of interest. So we'll see you there. Yeah, I'm at the Orwell Hotel in Felixstowe.
The features of the shadow don't look right as well.
Yeah, this is Steve, who you know from Warminster Group on Facebook. But we're going to be going up to the forest in a minute. I wanted to draw this to your attention because this to me doesn't look human. It's the shape of the forehead mostly. It's obviously a young girl. It looks like
Not me, by the way.
Oh yeah, Steve looks pretty normal. Well, I think so anyway, but not everyone else agrees. But it's the actual shape of the forehead that concerns me. To me, it looks like a Starchild, Lloyd Pine of the Starchild Skull. And now, this is quite an old hotel. It's been here over a century. In the restaurant next door, which is over there, they got portraits of the hotel's original owners. Yet these portraits here, there's another one over here. See, this one looks normal. Maybe it's the mother, I don't know. But that is, maybe it's the mother of the girl, because that's a young girl. But these are apparently staff members, people who worked here long ago, when the hotel first opened. So, I don't know what you think, but this is an old portrait. It's been here over 100 years. But I say that's not human.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Pye, and this is an exact stereolithographic copy of the famous Starchild Skull. The Starchild Skull is a real, true bone skull that was found in Mexico around the Copper Canyon area about 1930. carbon-14 analysis has shown that it died about 900 years ago. As you can see, it is very different in shape from a typical human skull. But over the last 10 years with the Starchild project, we've had dozens of experts examine it, and they can come up with no kind of typical human deformity that matches all of the unusual things about this skull. Its unusual physiology begins with the bone itself. It's uniformly half as thick as normal human bone, and it weighs half as much. It's very light by comparison, and yet it's 2 or 3 times as hard. It's extremely durable. We think some of that durability comes from very unusual fibers woven through the matrix of the bone, never seen in any other animal of any kind. There's also a red residue found in the bone in the cancellous holes that is also very unlike any other bone that is known. So you have those unusual attributes right off the bat. Then in the rear we see that it lacks an inion, which is that knot that we all have in the back rear of our heads. Everybody has that. Chimps have it, gorillas have it, everything has it. And that's where your neck muscles attach. Its neck muscles attach all the way down here, right on top of the foramen magnum, meaning it has a very small neck, like half the size of a normal human neck. And it sits at a different angle. The head sits at a different angle than a normal human head. Very different. Chewing muscles very much reduced. Normally up here, down here in the Starchild. Very small lower face. Look at these eye sockets. Look how shallow they are. Not even as deep as the first knuckle of my finger. Not even a full inch. In a human being, 2 full inches, all the way up to here. That depth. The eyes themselves are centered down here in the middle of the nose, so that the eyes are down here rather than up at the top like our eyes. Very, very unusual eyes. Unusual in so many ways. No sinuses in here. We've had all kinds of testing done over the past 10 years. Not just taking it to experts to get their opinions, but CAT scans, x-rays, scanning electron microscope, everything we could think of, trying to find out what it is, and it all comes back. This is not normal. This is really unusual. So, the main test we've had has been DNA. And what the DNA has told us is remarkable. In 2003, we recovered very easily its mitochondrial DNA, which told us that its mother was human. But in 6 full attempts, we could not recover its nuclear DNA. And nuclear DNA comes from your mother and your father. And so that told us right away that the father was very unusual and the Starchild itself is very unusual. Now, during the course of this year, 2009, we're hoping to have a DNA test done that will recover the entire genome of this remarkable relic. And when we get that result in, and we believe that we'll have it by the end of this year, we know that this skull is going to make history as big and as dramatically as history can be made. It's going to prove that at one time on planet Earth 900 years ago in Mexico, an alien human being walked this earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hapanwo TV viewers, hospital porters, pride and dignity, stop the New World Order. This here is Rendlesham Forest in daylight hours. Look in there. It's spooky. It's very, very spooky indeed. And I've not been here in daylight before, but there's a lot of... It's actually beautiful as well as spooky. And this car park is full, and there's clearly a lot of people sort of cycling and things like that today. Now, these are my companions today. You'll remember from last night we had these are the same guys we saw last night, apart from Colin and Mark weren't here. But this is Colin, of course, you're familiar with, and
hello once again.
Steve Wills there, Wiltshire Warminster UFO Research, and Derek you're familiar with, and Andy. And Mark, of course, who you'll recognise as well. Now, this is Mark's car. This is his van. Now, we thought he was one of the men in black. I did. Sorry. All right, I'm guilty. I thought, oh my God, we got one of the men in black following us because we've driven up here all the way from Felixstowe with a little convoy, and it's about a 40-minute drive. We just entered the forest. We suddenly realised this van that followed us all the way from the Orwell Hotel was still behind us, and I thought, oh my God, the man. But anyway, this is the first time I've seen the forest in daylight hours. I mean, I filmed last night. If you watched early, you'll have seen the filming I did last night. Went up to Eastgate. But that there is we're at the end of the flight line of Woodbridge Base, which is through the trees there. What used to be Woodbridge Base. And we're now going to head up and see a few more sights. So stay tuned for more. Coming soon. There's lots of cyclists around here. Oh, cheers, mate. Thanks. Rendlesham Forest is, of course, very famous for other things apart from creatures from other planets landing. It's famous on the route for cycling. Cyclists and motorbikes as well. There's a big motorbike and cycling scene here. Oh, we have a plaque here, Woodbridge Air Base.
Look, there's a mention of...
Do they actually do mention? Oh my God.
1980.
Timeline, the Woodbridge Airfield. Feel free to pause and read. Prowler or crash drone, fog investigation, the Cold War. There's nothing on here about the UFO, but it is mentioned. The Rendlesham Forest UFO incident is mentioned on here. So now I'm going to hold this up because it's a good job. I've actually got a tripod with me and I'm actually using it. So I'm now going to. This is quite good. I'll show you the base. What's left of the base. That is there as the end of the Woodbridge Base flight line. Now, this may remind you of Greenham Common, and it does. And look at that. Ain't that beautiful in the distance? You can see the rest of the forest there in the distance. That's the rest of Rendlesham Forest stretching out ahead. More cyclists there, of course. It's Sunday, so there's obviously a big cycling day here. But look, what I can do, look, this is a good idea actually. I can actually use my tripod as a sort of crop circle viewing pole.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you can see more. See how you can see more than I can now. You can see over the fence into Woodbridge Base.
Hey.
Because I'm down here.
Yeah.
See, there's Colin there. See how low he is. Look at that. Look at that beautiful in the distance. Look at the trees in the distance. That's the Woodbridge Field. So, now where we were last night, if you'll remember, it was Eastgate, which is in that direction. There's a path leads to Eastgate, but the actual UFO event, the actual first landing on the first night, was somewhere in this area.
Right.
So it's somewhere in these trees over here. I'm not sure exactly where. The Great Storm of 1986 changed an awful lot of the landscape around here.
87?
Was it 87? Oh, pardon me, 87. But it was the one where Michael Fish said, oh, a lady called me and she says there's a hurricane coming. Don't worry, there's no hurricane coming. You're absolutely all fine, you know. What's that sign say over there?
UFO parking at the back, it says, something like that.
No, yeah, it's right. Aliens, please park on here. Yeah, no parking charges. No parking on the verges.
You get a good idea how dense the forest is just looking through that sort of area.
Yeah. This is like these little tracks. You can see this is forestry. It's not ancient woodland, it's forestry. Although it is quite ancient apparently. There's parts of it that are really old. But there's old logging tracks and things like that. So we're going to... That's Woodbridge Base over there, give you an idea of where we are. I didn't bring my map with me, unfortunately. But we're now going to proceed to see if there's anything else of interest. Ladies and gentlemen, this here is John Hanson. This is John Hanson and this is his book. That's volume 8 of this encyclopedia of...
Are you filming this or not?
I am, yeah.
All right, well, good afternoon to you as well. At least it's not raining, and it's great to meet you and just...
And you, John, I've met you a couple of times, but it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
You may not remember me, but we have met.
Of course I could not forget you.
Oh. No one forgets my face.
Right, okay. Well, it's Actually, it seems a long while since we did Volume 8.
Is this your good lady wife?
This is Dawn
Do you want to be on her Panwo TV? You mind being on her Panwo
TV?
TV?
Monkey what TV on, long as we can let people know.
Okay, sure.
No,
Sure.
Look,
But,
at the end of the day, it's about, you know, I've always said it's about disclosure.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
as I say, we've just finished Volume 10, and Volume 10 has actually got Gary in it.
Yeah.
And you know, with the Shadow Soldiers, and as you can see, we publish them ourselves now, and we don't make actually hardly nothing in them on them. But it's just the thing is, it's just important to put it all together.
But it needs to be done. Yeah, you need like a single data. It's a single database of all the UFO sightings, and the fact you've got 10 volumes already shows how much there is.
That's right. And also, bearing in mind, when it came up to 1980. And there's a lot of information here from Colonel Holt, who was kind enough to help us, and also some pretty interesting travel documents, images. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure what more I can do with this, but some fantastic stuff, and also some extremely unusual metal, which was recovered allegedly from the crash site the day after. Which is there.
That's very unusual. Yeah.
And that's been analysed in the States. And the guy that analysed it, unfortunately, passed away last year. But he was able to contrast that with an incident at Ohio.
It's quite big as well.
An incident at Ohio when a UFO dropped some identical material. So yeah, I mean, but
that's interesting to know. Yeah.
So I mean, if anybody wants to be in the books. You go ahead.
If you've seen one, you let John know, and he can.
Please let me know. You give us a ring, or you know, our names are known, our telephone number is available on the internet. And the thing is,
because I've seen on Richard D. Hall's programme, but you have a website as well.
Look, let's be honest about it. I'm not a celebrity author. I don't want to be a celebrity author. All I want to do is get the information out there. And as I say, it cost me a great deal to do this. But I've said before, it's not about us today. It's about in 100 years' time, when no one here is going to be alive then, and people will want to know about Rendlesham. And what they will find out about Rendlesham in 100 years' time is that Rendlesham is probably a theme park, an alien theme park with statues of Colonel Holt, Brenda Butler, and the others on plinths. And you know, and get your burgers here. I mean, that's the thing. You see, if you look at that, it's quite funny. But actually, that is the way it's heading.
Yeah, well, that means if we have acknowledgement of this thing, we need the database. I mean, Gary Heseltine was saying that you need a one-stop shop database is an excellent idea, and Richard Dolan was saying we should have a global one. So that's
I think
of evidence, an evidence bank.
It's covered from. This is the 10th volume, and it gives a very British context, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you're at the 10th volume. Where are you up to in chronologically now?
Volume 10 is 1989 to 1990, plus the second slice of American, Tasmanian, Australian, New Zealand sightings from 1963 to probably 1968. We slumped again because there's so much stuff that's got to go in.
Quite clearly there's going to be more volumes after 10 as well.
To be honest, I just want to get up to 2000 because we spent a lot of time down in Wiltshire in the late 1990s.
I bet you did, yeah.
And we're thinking of doing a separate book on Wiltshire to claw in the stuff from the later 1990s. But I've always said I don't know what these things are, and I don't know where they come from. But by God, they're here. They've been here for a long time now, and it's time that we really, I suppose, people in government acknowledge to the public that these things are here.
Exactly. Yeah. It's about time we did. That's true. That's very true. Well, thanks, John. Thanks for showing us the book. Thanks for being on her Panwo TV.
Put together, but that's me at the end of the day. My saving grace is I hopefully write good books.
Oh well, I've had a glimpse through. I've had a glimpse through one of the volumes, and I was very impressed with it. So
thank you. Cheers.
So well done. That's great. So that's a place. That's another good UFO book you can get to. Now we're all a bit tired because we were at the conference. We were at the conference yesterday, and it was kind of like a bit tiring. But we came up here last night for about an hour. And I went home and
Did you park actually here as well? Same
yeah,
place?
we parked here. I should.
And where
I
did you walk
should.
to last night? Where
We
about?
walked up that way,
Oh, okay.
which is towards Eastgate, which is in that direction. Now you'd have seen that all in the dark. We were in the light, and I've never seen this place in the light. But I've got yeah, we've got a lot of. It's really quite something. The conference we went to, we should point out actually, is was the 2014 Rendlesham Forest UFO Incident Conference, and it was sort of interesting in a sense that the quality of the speakers was excellent, the audience members were excellent. It was all really good. Yeah, but the problem is, I was really surprised about this. The local authorities were not very supportive of the event. Now, do you think that's odd, Colin?
Well, it does seem strange when it's, you know, if you mention Rendlesham, then first thing you're going to come to is the UFO incident. So it's not like Roswell where they sort of embrace the whole.
Oh, they really have. But
Yeah.
and what's odd is, I mean, maybe it's because we've got a tradition of socialism in this country or something. But they don't like you making money off anything. You're not allowed to exploit your history for your own prosperity and your own local economy. But I mean, believe it or not, the mayor's office in Woodbridge actually ordered the organisers of the conference not to hang up any banners or posters relating to UFOs anywhere near the village hall, the town hall, which I thought was really very strange indeed.
It's bad. I mean, why,
But,
you know, what they got to hide.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's just funny. Maybe it's something the Americans do better than us. But if you go to Roswell, they are UFO crazy there. And I mean, probably only a minority of people, maybe a minority of the people in the town or the test city, actually believe in it. But the fact of the matter is, it is a part of their history, whether it's real or not. And I think it is real. But even if it's not, it's still a part of their history, their folk history.
I think they're embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
They're embarrassed.
They've got every reason to exploit, to actually take, you know, to actually, they've got every reason, I think, to take advantage of that, to exploit it for their own prosperity. As I said, their own local economy, it's a part of their history. If anyone objects to that, do you remember my film at Stratford-on-Avon, Roswell upon Avon? Yeah, then you have to go to Stratford-on-Avon and tell them to get rid of the Shakespeare stuff. Say it's immoral. Anything to do with William Shakespeare, you chuck it away. Shut down all the theatres, shut down all the museums, get rid of all those tacky Hamlet skulls, glow-in-the-dark Hamlet skulls in the tourist information and the gift shops. Get rid of all the Romeo and Juliet scripts in their leather-bound volumes. Anything to do with William Shakespeare, you chuck out of there. That's their attitude. So now that's the attitude of the skeptics, people like Mark Pilkington, who say that they object to the Roswell sort of like UFO dividend. But anyway, I'm going to have a look around, and I might have if we're going to wait here for a long time, I might have a quick walk up to Eastgate, you know.
Yeah.
I might walk
How
up.
far is that?
It's only about a 10-minute odd walk. I'll see you later. Okay, we're taking a walk up to Eastgate, and we've just come across a spot on the UFO trail, because there is as you can see, it's a cycle track here. Tang trail. There's a big cycling's a big thing round here.
Tang.
But see, there's more cyclists back where we came from. That's towards the car park. But we're heading towards Eastgate now, and this is where, in the distance, we came up here last night. But it's there. This is where Burroughs, Penniston, was it Cabansack? Yeah, they drove down this road to get to the spot in the forest where they thought a plane had crashed. This road here, and that leads to the car park today, the modern car park. It's they came out of this gate here, which of course this base was very different in those days to what it is now. It was a fully operational NATO nuclear weapons storage area. Yeah, all those years ago, 34 years ago. Mm. But it's different in the daytime to the night time. It's a different atmosphere.
Does it feel different at night?
Yes. It's
More creepy.
yeah, I think more creepy. It's more creepy at night, I reckon. Now,
Look.
yeah, but you might still see things. I mean, this area. I mean, Derek will tell you about this. I'll wait till Derek's on camera because I want him to get his spin on this. But this area is known as a paranormal site dating back to the 17th century, and is evidence to suggest that this area was held to be sacred or spooky, whatever, whichever way you think. Long before then. Ley lines, yeah. There's ley lines. Yeah, Sutton Hoo is an ancient Anglo-Saxon village, very well preserved, not far from here. It was a pre-Christian pagan site, and there's evidence to suggest that they venerated this area long before the modern forest was actually here, let alone the basis.
I thought it was French. I thought it was like Rendlesham.
Rendlesham. Maybe, I don't know. That's in Rennes le Chateau.
Yeah.
No, we were up here last night, and there was these guys with just sitting here. And there was actually some people camped out. Well, they weren't camped out, but they were standing. They were sitting in. They had like deck chairs. They had little camp chairs, didn't they? Little camp chairs, just sitting here having a smoke, and they had no tent, but they were just sitting here now. This is Eastgate. Maybe, I mean, the thing is, it was much discouraged because there was low cloud, it was drizzling. That's Gillian, by the way.
Hi.
Hello. Gillian's come all the way from, is it Falkirk?
Yep.
Falkirk in Scotland. You don't live in Bonnie Bridge by any chance, do you?
No, close.
But you know Bonnie Bridge?
Yeah, I know.
That's a UFO hotspot, was a UFO hotspot.
Was
There's the UFO trail again, see? We can always just follow that, but Derek knows where. I don't know what this is for. We saw this like it's a bit Blair Witch Project, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think I said that last night. Sorry not to be original. Yeah. But this is what I showed you last night, and I also showed this in 2010. There's this tree here which I hid under, this old oak tree, which must have been around when this was a base, which I hid under in 2010 because there was so many. There was about 50 people here in 2010. John was in front of the cameras and everything, but this here is Eastgate. Locked up, you can't get in.
Why is it locked up?
It's still a Ministry of Defence site. It's owned by the Ministry of Defence, but it's used for training and accommodation. There's barracks in here and a training centre, and apparently, according to Derek, Apache helicopters still operate in this area. What's over here? Look at this old oak tree, it's beautiful. It's getting a bit nippy, and I put my jacket on. There's the flight line of Woodbridge Base. What used to be Woodbridge Base. Any sign of Freddy?
Yeah. No, yeah, it'll pop up somewhere.
But this is the forest does look very desolate, and if you're looking like, for instance, in that direction, down that little pathway, that looks very desolate. And as I said, this is an area known for paranormal activity, which Derek will describe to you, but also cryptozoological activity, because people have seen big cats in this area, big black panthers and things in this area. I don't know about Bigfoot. You don't know. But there's big, little, like little foot. There's a small one like that, little small Bigfoot. But it's like that does look, has a spooky atmosphere in there.
It does.
Yeah.
I think it's a branch, but it looks like it was waving.
Oh man, that's spooky. Do you guys want to see over the top of the gate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's show you over. Let's show you what it looks like to get over the gate. I mean, I can't show you that myself.
We're gonna break in.
But I'm going to show you what it would look like to get over the top of the gate. Yeah, it does. It's sort of like that's derelict Montauk.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Well, some people think it's an actor.
Yeah, there is. You can see now over the top of the Eastgate.
Montauk monster.
Yeah. Oh, that's to do with Plum Island, I reckon. The Plum Island.
Yeah. I can see a van. So I didn't realise there was a van there with someone in Philadelphia. High visibility.
Oh, so there
Is there? Where?
Oh, for you.
Someone watching us?
There's a van as well.
Yeah.
High visibility. Someone. Oh, it looks
Can you
like.
see if there's anything on the van?
Yeah, there's someone in there.
Is there anything on the van?
There's some people there. So they still have security, but it's not. They're probably Mod Plod, Ministry of Defence Police. They're not the. Not the same guys who were guarding it. They're not the same guys who were guarding the place in 1980. No. What's your name, by the way?
Carrie.
Carrie. Ben. How do you do?
Good.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. Thanks for being on Paranormal TV. And thanks for coming all this way.
Yep, it's a long
Appreciate
drive,
it,
but
yeah.
worth it.
This is
All
like
the way
this
from
could be the
Suffolk.
Jonathan Reed stick almost.
Oh, get wacky.
Wow. He
It
must
could
have been,
be.
mind you.
Choice.
I suppose he doesn't need to be that strong because he's quite. Freddie's probably quite fragile.
Well, from what I get, Freddie's like yeah. I hope to upload that video soon of Dr. Jonathan Reed. I filmed a lecture by Dr. Jonathan
You
Reed.
filmed it.
We were all there. I mean, we were all at the event last night, and it was yesterday at the Felixstowe Conservative Club, and it was 3 hours long. I hope to upload it soon. But I've got a few business issues to sort out first, but I will upload that video hopefully soon. There's some aliens coming through the wood there. No, it's just people walking. Yeah. But it's just, like I say, there's this atmospheric kind of feel to it, and there's the base there. I'll try and show you on the map when I get home exactly where we go. Alright, I'll just show you where it is. We're heading. Okay, see you later. Okay, we've moved a short distance now from the main road and the car park. The car park's back there. We're walking, this is track 10. We're walking down to...
Straight line down.
Oh, thanks, Donnie, yeah. It's just...
When you have it, they came down last night and got lost.
Oh, I see. Well, we were here last night, yeah. But, this lady Dot, she knows all about this case. She's one of the experts.
Who's that?
You are.
Oh,
You're
and
one of-
Brenda.
I'm Brenda, yeah. Brenda and Dot. Brenda Butler, Dot Street. They wrote the definitive book on this subject. And this is all. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks very much for their efforts that we know so much so soon about this event. But
No, it was through one of the witnesses that we knew.
yeah, that's right. Was that Larry?
No.
UFO trail there. See, we're on the right track. This is all.
Larry, eventually. I heard from Larry Fawcett, and he gave me Larry's number, and that's when me £1,000.
That's Larry Fawcett, the guy in America, Citizen Against UFO Secrecy. Yeah, good guy. Of course, he's a good guy. Yeah.
Haven't we died a few years back?
Oh, sorry to hear that, because he did a great service.
He did a lot in the States.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of this out.
Yeah. This is all. Look, this is all open here, and it's all. That's just bracken. That's nothing growing there. This here is all.
With the Holt memo, Colonel Holt, when Brenda and I saw Colonel Holt, he said, oh, the Ministry of Defence. Oh, when I phoned him, he said the Ministry of Defence said they wouldn't release that.
Yeah.
And I said they didn't. I said it was your own country.
Yeah.
Through the Freedom of Information Act, it released it. But I thought, thank you for telling me about the British government, because they said they don't know nothing.
When was the time? Because you actually went to the Ministry of Defence.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You and Jenny Randalls and Brenda and
I played.
Georgina Bruni.
We played the tape. No, Georgina.
Was it Georgina? But you all.
Played the tape.
Yeah.
All
That's
of a sudden, we was ushered into this little room. I couldn't believe that we got it.
That was really good going, yeah. Because I mean, they if it had been any longer, then this would have just vanished down a black hole like Roswell until maybe 30 years later, when, as Jesse Marcel Senior spoke to Stanton Friedman in 1977, but by then it was too late.
Yeah.
So much time had passed, 30 years. The witnesses were aging, their memories were fading. We've reached this important point, I think. Derek knows about this. Let's find out.
The cats.
Derek, what's this place, Derek?
Like this place here, there was 3 of us one night, and basically we was just standing there, it was pitch black, and a bird flew out the tree and we jumped, and there was a black cat sitting in this tree, and the branch snapped off the tree, and the cat fell out the tree, and we've got our torches on it, run around there, and there's another black cat. They're like puma size.
Not little cats, not little black cats.
But if you, it's about just over a year ago, but you can see if you look close to the tree, all the bark's been straight.
Thanks, John. Thank you very much.
Well,
thank you.
Well, that scared the shit out of us, but that was full-size black cat. And I reckon the cat used to sit there, and if a deer walked past any of these 4 tracks, they could nab it. But we come back the next day, and we found all like pug marks through here, and where that building is, because you can see it in the footprints were still there because it's sort of damp, you can see where the cats were sitting. But that's where it all happened. And in the tree, you look closely, it's grown over a bit now, but there's all the claw marks where they used to sit. But I'll say there was 2 that night. 2 cats. There was one in the tree, and one had stalked us up in it, was sitting there. And we sort of basically I say, a bit of a quick walk back to the car, and one of the cats followed us all the way to the road, and we just couldn't believe it. He just sat there and... No, because I jumped to one car, my brother all jumped to the other car, and my nephew. Oh, look at that, Dad. I was a bit fucking in the car, do you know what I mean? Sitting there. But basically, no, as far as I know, you didn't have a bowl of milk, did you? No, I wasn't. that wasn't.
I don't think that was too much for these cats.
Wasn't on top of my agenda at the time, but we come back and we took all pictures of the tree and that, where it's all chewed off and that. But yeah, I mean, Brenda's seen them there.
Oh, we've seen the cats down there, we've seen Dad and Paul, right boys. They follow us around, they don't.
There's scratch marks on the tree?
Yeah, they took all the bark off. But it's great, it was like a year ago and it's all sort of...
Are they still visible?
Well, the bark probably.
Gonna have a look.
The bark off. I've got pictures of it at the time, but that was sitting on a branch. The branch, they must have been sitting on a branch there, and it just snapped off. But if you look up, you can see the bark gone off the tree, and there was all claw marks in that, where they obviously used it as a scratching post. But like I say, it was over a year ago. So
yeah. But this is interesting because, like, have you told the Centre for Fortean Zoology about this?
No, I haven't.
Jonathan Downs.
Jonathan Downs would be, he'd been, and his team, Richard Freeman and
well, there's 3 of us here.
Graham Inglis.
3 of us see them, you know. I mean, it scared the shit out of me. But they were big cats. I don't know if they're pumas or whatever. They were big black cats.
Yeah. Well, they reckon there's a breeding population of these things now.
Well, Brenda's seen
they've escaped from zoos.
And Beth, they've seen the cats. Yeah.
And I mean, so as far as I know, there's been no attacks on humans yet, but farm animals, they've taken out farm animals and deer.
Yeah, there's loads of deer here, so the place is full of deer. You can see the branches there, look, where the barks have gone. That's where
so this was done by animals which are supposed to only live in Africa and South America. Pseudocryptids.
Okay.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. We're going to continue down the UFO trail now.
And that was one of the philo buildings, but now it's just like they just put that to you.
This is an old fire. This is for clearing fog. That's a type of geoengineering, though, isn't it? It's a type of weather control.
Yeah, they used to light the fires.
Don't know how close we can get to it. We'll see whether we can or not. But yeah, apparently though this is used for bats now, so I won't disturb them, but there are bats breeding in there. So it's kind of a bat cave. To the bat cave, Robin!
Hang on, Ben, I've got the Yeti!
Where is it? I'm not moving! It's so cruel, it's so cruel there. Yeah, we're a happy bunch. Okay, we've seen something a bit strange. A group of trees. There's this area probably about 100 feet square, where there's some trees which are broken down, but they've been snapped. They've not been cut, they've been snapped from a spot about maybe 7 feet up their trunks. And this is really, really weird, because trees don't normally do that. Can you see them? There's a whole area they've been snapped, and something has snapped them off from a certain area, which is weird. This is how trees normally fall down. This is a normal tree falling down right next to it, as if to demonstrate, where they tip over and their roots are pulled up, But these trees are snapped from halfway up their trunk, and I don't know why that is. It's like something snapped them. Very weird. One of the many weird things in Rendlesham Forest.
UFO, and there was 5 ETs standing behind us. That was about a couple of months ago now. We went down there, and there was these 4 zombie type things behind us, like the whole of Bernie. And as I dragged him down, because I could see him behind him, I dragged him down there, and then suddenly, just as we nearly got to the road, there was an almighty roar, an almighty terrible noise, and we turned around and everything was gone. It was all back.
That's very strange. I saw some photos on Facebook which had like strange figures on, which I think you had taken or Derek had taken.
The ones that Derek had taken.
Yeah.
You tell what I take and what Derek take, actually, because he put all my photos up onto his thing.
Yeah. You know Ellis Taylor? He can do things. You heard of Ellis Taylor?
I put some of the condos on, the ones standing in the forest with the tall hoods on.
Yeah.
I put them on, the condos. Yeah.
Very strange.
And ET's coming through portals.
I seen this
Yeah.
ones that looked like some sort of portal, like a ship sitting in between trees, but there was nothing there. Like looked like a hologram in the picture.
Well, we were saying earlier on, weren't we, that the reports of paranormal phenomena go back to the 17th century in this area.
Well, 1600s they do.
Yeah.
The furthest sighting we've got, or things that happened down here, is the 1600, and then the 1800.
Yeah. It's very, very old. What's this over here? There's some a lid of a danger. Keep out. If in doubt, ring this number. 01935. Let's have a look. My phone's off. I've got no battery left. But what's under there then? There's something under there.
So you missed all this, man. You should have been here filming it.
Yeah.
All this,
That's right. What's happened is something's come over the trail. See what Derek's talking about.
Tunneling, right? When I was on Bentwaters, and at that point, Jim picked me off the site.
What do you mean by debriefed on it?
He was
They were doing nuclear
not
tunneling.
briefed. He was briefed on tunneling at Bentwaters. I think nuclear tunneling at Bentwaters. And
That's
then,
the ones which melt the rock and just burn through.
I don't know.
Subterranes.
I don't know.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
They actually create such a heat that they don't create rubble, but they melt the rocks, which creates a sealed wall.
But at that point, Jim kicked him off the site and me off the site at the same time. And that was the other serviceman. That was on the justice site. And that's what we was talking about when I got elbowed.
See, that's stupid. He should leave you on the site to say what you're going to say, and then they'll know what you know.
Yeah.
When you kick people off the site.
Well, it was the other guy trying
There's
to...
a tree fallen down in our path.
Well, Brenda got 12 grand, didn't you, Brenda?
Is our path blocked? We can't get through.
No, we get around here. The wind that's taking these trees down for the way.
Well, how come they snap off? We saw some of those trees that snapped halfway up their trunk.
That field bit where the trees are gone, that was full of trees a couple of years ago. What's happened now? The wind gets whipped right across the runway. Of course, the first row of trees are gone now, so the wind hits these. Hence
Well,
I thought the whole point of having the trees was so that it would mean that there was clear air turbulence. There was no air turbulence for the last few seconds of landing. That's not the reason.
No, I was talking about...
oh, this is a big cycle area, and so sorry, mate. You come on through.
Thank you. Bloody disgrace, this. Why is that tree still growing?
Yeah, maybe it's a recent fall. But these have come down as well. What's this place, Derek? What's this?
See this big hole here?
Yeah.
This is where they say a lightning crashed in 1960.
A lightning aircraft.
Yeah.
Fighter jet. Yeah.
Crashed there.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it was, a big hole.
Well, hang on. A lightning's like a fighter jet. Would it make a hole this big?
Fucking huge bloody engines with a man sitting across it, like in the movie. What do you call it?
Well, the research tells us the lightning.
They go about 3.5 times speed of sound.
Yeah, it's lightning. Yeah.
They're fast.
No, but it was fastest jet getting around.
Yeah.
But would it have made a hole this big? Could a jet fighter crash? I mean, planes do come down, yeah. But I mean,
If you look at the old Google thing, that hole's not there.
really? So
He must have been told to crash here.
I don't know about total crash.
What year would that have been?
Well, no, if you're an unrecoverable...
I think it's 1960 something.
If you've got an unrecoverable...
They're quite old
situation,
planes.
They'll get you to crash off the airport.
Could have been what it would. See, there's been planes in the... No, there's loads of plane crashes.
This is the whole point of the base.
In the war there was planes that crashed, but this was a lightning or something.
The whole point of this base was so that they would have a runway to damage aircraft.
Yeah,
this is as close to...
Because they can take off...
Look, if you're in the Battle of Britain over there, you have to... In the Battle of Britain, you'd have to...
They could lay crossways as well. It's much wider than the Second World War it is now. So they could land that way and take off that way as well. There's 5 runways, wasn't it?
I'm just going to let the viewers have a closer look at this hole, because it's like a huge indentation.
Excuse me, Ben, does that mean we all have to get our cigarettes out and our spades and look into it like council workers?
If you like, yeah, that'll be some novelty bios.
Being a hole, we have to have regulation council workers to lean into the look at the hole and study it in great depth.
Yeah. You have to go.
Otherwise, it's not a.
You have to look very. You have to look very pleased about your handiwork.
And look into it.
Yeah.
Nod your
look
head.
very pleased about your handiwork and saying.
And smoke your woodbine.
Yeah. Yes. It's been a while since these pipes have been done, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's like it's big. This is quite steep side of this hole. It looks like maybe a sinkhole or something. But it's like as you can see here, that.
Blown this whole place up.
But there's a depression which is about, well, it's about 300 feet across. And it's sort of oval shaped. It's longer that way than that way. Now, Derek was just saying that a lightning fighter jet crashed here, and that's what caused this depression. I've seen where planes crash before, and I've not seen any damage of this, where it digs out a hole this big. But, yeah. But this is Brenda's bench. Yeah. Do you know why this is called Brenda's bench?
Because Derek bought it for her, because the last one was set alight.
Oh, Derek bought this?
Yeah.
Odd.
It's changed the bracelet.
Oh, yeah.
Because the last one, they chopped it up and made a fire with it. So.
Oh, that's bad.
So Derek brought it up, and that was her Christmas present for Derek.
Oh, is that our Brenda Butler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Brenda's been.
Yeah, very nice. That was nice of you to do that. That was a nice gesture, Derek, to buy that bench for Brenda.
I know, that was and I've had to put up in a pouring rain.
Oh, well, that's really lovely.
As executive president of the Basis Project Film Festival, you might want to know this odd fact about bent borders. Yeah. It's in the film 12 O'Clock High with Gregory Peck.
What year was that?
Is it?
Yeah.
I've seen that movie.
The control tower from Woodbridge, or I think it's bent borders. Yeah, it's a Gregory Peck movie, 12 O'Clock High, B-17.
So that base has been around a long time. It's pre-Cold War.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't seen that film that John Burroughs mentioned, the Final Countdown, was it? He was talking about.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that was supposed to be on at the cinema in around,
The film to see is The Machine.
I've not seen that one.
Wales. It's won loads of awards, and it's about cyborgs being made by the MOD.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Film. And I want that for the Basis Project.
Yeah, that's an interesting combination of factors.
Yeah, well, it is.
Made in Wales, cyborgs, yeah.
And it's using the name The Machine, which is from John Irwin.
Oh, right.
Who I don't speak to anymore.
Oh, that's...
Colin, do you think you could be executive?
What does that involve?
Let's have a little stroll in here just to see what it's like.
Eating popcorn.
Informed review of the...
No, I'm just heading off into the forest just to have a little look around and a sense of the atmosphere of this place, because I've got 40 minutes left on the battery. I'm going to have to be a bit frugal about what I film, but no, there's a quite remarkable atmosphere here. It's a really there's pine needles underfoot. These are all pine trees, little twigs, and you can't see very far, as you can tell. But there's these little logging trails every so often. I think these are to do with forest fires. I think they're fire prevention or to prevent fire spreading. You see here we have like, these are like free of trees, and there's one of these little lines, these little pathways, these straight pathways every... Okay, got to go back now, but there's but this is Brenda's Bench, another site in Rendlesham Forest. See you later.
Joe's good at the spirit box.
Yeah.
This is Derek talking about his spirit box experiment.
Joe started doing his spirit box thing, talking that, and all of a sudden something coming locked on, started talking to us. He said, right, is it something, does someone want to step forward and talk to us, like, would it be a spirit or any star people? And this is when it really gets strange. It said yes. So then he said, well, just to test things out, he said, who's sitting opposite me? It said, Brenda. He said, who's sitting next to Brenda? It said, Derek. By this time I've nearly fell off the fucking bench, but seriously. And then I said, is there any way we can make communication easier? And they said, just meditate. And then we could recognise it as an American voice. So then we asked the question, what's your name? And it said, Kevin. Well, Kevin Darkson was somebody some of us know here. Kevin Darkson was on the Lone Ranger side.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, well, he died, right? We've communicated with him, and we've been trying some experiments with these stones, basically. Kevin died, and he come through and was talking to us. And since then, things have progressed. But basically, here is where it started with the spirit box. And Joe Game, as you know Joe Game, Lee was here as well, but Joe was actually the one doing the spirit box, and we couldn't believe what happened. And we was recording him, and we asked different questions, and one of the questions was, how many spirits here? And they said 4. He said, are there any star people here? And they said 5. He was recording it, and how long has Joe been doing this? 12 years. We recorded it. After we done this, we then went down to another spot, and Brenda and Joe went to one side to do the spirit box again. And what were you told? Let's get out or F off or something, wasn't it?
No, we weren't told to F off there. We were told to get out because I hadn't asked permission to take him in there.
Yes, they were told to get out.
Place where we were asked permission to go to.
But when Joe got home, because you have to clear the white noise and play the recordings, the good bits never come out on the recordings. But we all sat there, didn't we? Bev was here, we sat there, we know what we heard.
I got shut down, didn't I?
Yeah, that's another strange thing. Bev sat where you are, Doc, and it's like she was in a different world, like something had shut her down. Because it was between us three, I think, and whatever, and Bev was just in a different world. Like, I don't know what happened to you there, really. Yeah, she just went all quiet and was really strange, looking the other way. She didn't hear what went on, but couldn't take part in it. But if this spirit box, the first time I've actually seen a spirit box working. I've since bought one, but it would appear that you have to be gifted to use it. It's
You have to program
modern.
it with your consciousness.
Yeah.
The same way that Brenda programs the camera.
Exactly. And Joe Game was excellent at it. I mean, we've tried it here. I couldn't do it. We've tried it, but we have got another guy who comes with us sometimes, Ralph. We call him the Indian. He's got some results on it. But just tell you this another thing what Joe done, which is quite interesting. He tried it again at another area when he came down again, and he asked a few questions in English. Then he swapped to speak in German, and the answers come back in German. So we're going to deduct from that whatever language you ask him. If something comes through, they'll answer back in the same language. So, for instance, we asked in Japanese, we get the answer back in Japanese. But we're trying to get Joe and Lee to work with us on this, because that was just amazing what they've got. But the strange thing is, when it comes to the recordings, the playbacks, they couldn't, the important stuff, for whatever reason, didn't come out.
What do you mean the important stuff? I mean, there's other stuff?
Yeah, there was a few other bits. They were lost. The bits where we are, the names and certain things. When we was talking to like that Kevin, we know who Kevin is, it was Kevin Dalkstall, we know this. For whatever reason, it didn't record. Now, whether or not it wasn't because he wasn't actually holding the recorder, he had got it on the bench, and perhaps if he'd have held it and recorded, I don't know. But there's this white noise and you couldn't hear the recordings. whatsoever.
And
We
save
cleared
the
bits of
battery.
them, but not what I call. We walk along, and he was filming with his camcorder, a bit like that, and a Yeti come Bigfoot walked across in front of him and held his hand in front of the camera as he walked past, and he got it on video.
And this was a...
Yeah. And also, Brenda Tullis, she was here. Just here, there was some sort of strange animal that had got a bit of a deer leg in its mouth, eating it.
What's this?
What kind of animal?
Sorry.
Well, we don't know. What was that? What was it that had the deer here? No.
Oh, yeah, I'm not filming that. There's a
Was it a big
there's a
cat?
piece of sort of cloth covered in poo.
Yeah, I know.
For want of a better word.
Like that man, dear. Oh, look, I want a photograph.
That big cat. See the big cat's after. Big cat's after that wee frog.
Oh, it's a frog.
Yeah, don't shout at Brenda. She'll do nasty things. She put her in my
But so
hat.
this is a spot where a Bigfoot. The thing about those, I mean, a Bigfoot can't. I mean, in the forests of North America, you can imagine that.
It wasn't a solid object, but it was like a ghosty object.
Yeah.
He actually caught it on, and it put its hand in front of the camera as it walked past him.
That's amazing.
Well,
It's incredible.
We've got some photographs of a Bigfoot up here.
So if one appears now, I'll be ready for it. It's really weird. But we're going.
Derek, what about the door?
No, we haven't got there yet, have we?
Oh, right.
I was going to do the whole bit first.
Did I hold it first?
Let's have a look. The UFO trail, organised by the Forestry Commission. Feel free to pause and read, viewers. Oh, thanks, mate. It just tells a story of the, and here's where we were, and there's the article there.
It's a famous News of the World front page.
Yeah, UFO landing stuff. That's official.
News of the World now.
It's about the only decent article. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
it's the only decent article that newspaper ever published.
I think you were fond of page 7 fellow.
I'm sorry, Dot.
right.
Sorry. This has been sure. Let's have a look. So there's where we were. There's the Eastgate, you see, and a car park was there. We walked all the way down here and round there. We're sort of there's the vendor's bench, and we're now walking along here. We're here. This is the halt area. But the thing is, though, the actual landing site is more in this area, if I remember rightly. And so there's the Orford Nest Lighthouse in that direction. So it's sort of over there. It's sort of like so it's in that direction, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's where you get that mystical levitating super lighthouse.
You look. Mind you,
Or is it lighthouses all the way down?
well, I mean, since I've talked to Ian, and he said he knew it wasn't the lighthouse.
Yeah. I see in Ridpath, the astronomer.
Yeah, he knew it. He said, I know it wasn't the lighthouse, but somebody had to have a negative attitude.
Oh,
I thought, well,
what? Did he really say that?
Yeah, he said it to me.
Oh my goodness.
Darling.
You might say to me, we should get Brenda.
Yeah, that'd be a good show, wouldn't it?
It's not often you get the opportunity.
We get Dot and Brenda in the same place, yeah.
Because, the other side.
Yeah, I'm gonna get.
I want to get a still shot of this actually while I'm here. And with Dot there is even better.
Forestry Commission.
Yeah. Not that Dot is actually representing the Forestry Commission anyway.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's nice. Now we'll come over it. Now this is an interesting spot because this is where the Forestry Commission have actually commissioned a sculpture, a sculptor to create a model, a metallic model of the UFO that came down on the first night. That is the Boxing Day night, which was seen by Penniston and Burroughs. And this is where it's going to be placed. And as you see here, you are entering a clearing. A special feature will be placed in July. Regrettably, this is going to be in mid-September, so around now. And there's a new story came out actually this morning saying that they've just unveiled the statue and they're going to place it here very soon. The problem is there's something misleading going on here because this is not where an object was seen on the first night. This is on the second night because this is not the place where that object was seen, as I explained just now. Like if you see on the map, this is where Holt saw what he did on the second night. And so I'll come back over here again.
About all the night. And then we realise what was going on.
That there
The dates with the midnight.
is the thing is the actual landing, the first night landing site is somewhere more in this area, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere more round here.
Well, of course, Penniston is saying that the landing site is actually here, but we've got about 7 or 8 landing sites normally. But
I know.
yeah, that actually was a favourite one.
It was somewhere around there. I mean, there's a lot of controversy about where the first night events happen.
Oh.
There's Capel Green, which is round here, which is where Larry Warren saw his thing.
That's just here. That's here.
I think that's
That was it?
That's where we've just.
Yeah. That's Brenda's bench,
Is
isn't
that
it?
where we've
No, it's
just
just
been?
there,
No.
it's there.
Larry
And the field.
Davey and Larry, when they were involved, there was a fence along there, and they went to go into the field and broke the fence.
You can't go
And
in
that
the
was
field.
it.
Okay. Sorry, we're going to have to move on. It's going to hear. Derek is now going to explain what's happening. Yeah. The captain's hat. The captain's hat.
There's a bit of a mistake there because you invited everybody as guests and guests don't pay.
Oh yeah.
So this is still the UFO trail. It's just there's a bit of misleading.
The UFO trail is purely for kids.
Right, yeah. Have you noticed they have letters of the Greek script embodied on the actual?
When we get up, I want to show you something. Right? You Pete, the picture I'll show you, that Land Rover, yeah. The picture I'll show you, yeah. That's where it was.
Right. Oh, that's
it.
Shiny thing.
that thing you put on Facebook.
Yeah, that's it. And Brenda's seen the doors here.
We actually took a photo.
So it's by the UFO trail sign.
That's the Land Rover, wasn't it? And the door. Yeah, that's what they said. The door and the Land Rover were there.
So this is where Holt saw.
There.
Yeah, that's and so the lighthouse. So this lighthouse is over here somewhere. I can't see it.
I'll show you in a minute. You won't see it anyway. It's 7 miles away. Well, it's not there now.
Can't see any lighthouse.
No, you won't.
No. Well, according to
There's only 2 spots here you can see the light.
according to Ian Ridpath, you did, and Vince Thurkettle. That's and his
2 spots.
truckload of burning manure, being driven by parachute test dummy, no doubt. I mean, what a load of burning manure that is.
This honestly, this is where that Land Rover.
Is that before they put the trail sign up?
Derek's actually talking about a photo he took here where he saw like a Land Rover of some kind, which is an interdimensional port of some kind.
And a doorway appear here. Brenda took a picture of a doorway here as well. But this is where the Land Rover appeared. Appeared for a few seconds while the photograph went. I didn't take a photograph, it was a friend of ours. And it appeared for like 2 seconds and it was here. And as you can see, it wasn't a real Land Rover.
And that is a. I don't know what it's an X, it looks like an X, but it's called something different because it's Greek. Theta, or it's not Theta, it's Zeta or something.
Zeta reticulum.
Yeah, it's Zeta. Yeah, it's because it is. It's a kind of X-like thing, isn't it?
You didn't hear what Mick Sayers with us. He was with John Burrows. Yeah, Brandy the other day, yesterday I think. John Burrows has told everybody a different site again.
Oh.
A different spot.
So it's all a bit confusing.
He's going to show us in a minute where Burrows said he was standing. The fact is, I know Burrows doesn't remember. That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, I think through no fault of his own. I mean, his mind's been messed with
The
pretty badly.
lighthouse, you can't see it, even if you stand up there where Miles is. The lighthouse is straight over that way, basically.
Right.
There's not open heads into a lighthouse, but you can have a look. You won't
There.
see it. It's gone now, I think.
It's not miles anyway. Yeah. But there used to be a lighthouse. There used to be a lighthouse here.
This is the landing site
Is it?
of the interdimensional time-travelling lighthouse.
Yeah. The sort of mystical levitating super lighthouse. Or is that lighthouse is all the way down?
Four goes its way around the forest every evening.
Let's, I'll just give the viewers, I'll give you views, or panel TV viewers, you want to have a good look at this, which from an angle you wouldn't be normally able to see, which I can't see. There's this big field here, and in the distance there, as Derek was pointing out, is the sea. That's the actual Orford Ness area of the coastline. But the problem is, you can't see the lighthouse from here, and the lighthouse is not even working nowadays, I believe.
It might not be. I think vaguely you can just see a slight flash in between them with a very far horizon, but it's It's so far-fetched that
Yeah.
it's untrue.
Doc was saying that Ian Redpath knows full well that it was.
It's bullshit. When that was going, there's only two places roughly, I think I'm right in saying, maybe down there, you could see it. It's just crap. That was the most ridiculous of the lot.
Yeah.
But the public still buy it, don't they? At large, you know, because he's got letters after his name.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Clark. You know, work at university.
Yeah, Clark, don't start me on him.
Yeah, not most
Dr. Folklore, yeah.
By the way, while we're standing there, that finger of trees there. Now I told you about a ley line. The ley line goes through that finger of trees, right, over that way. Just this side, on the right hand, is where Larry had his...
Is this Capel Green?
Yeah, this is Capel Green. And it's just the other side there, not on the grassy bit, but on the field where Larry had his bit.
That's it, because I mean, Peter Robbins has pointed it. Peter Robbins told me exactly where to go if I'm ever in this area. So, can we get any closer to that?
We can, but it's overgrown, but they've put this fence up.
Why how can they put the fence up?
To protect his carrots.
Keep people like us away.
Yeah, yes.
That's that over there, ladies and gentlemen, and Paranormal TV viewers, is Capel Green. And the farmhouse is behind this. There's a house there. And there's that little, and it's just between that finger of trees there and this used to be a culvert. There used to be like a little drainage ditch here in 1980. But,
that's where they saw the reflection of that building. Old said he could see reflections of the objects.
Yeah.
The windows there look like a fire, he said, you know, as if the place were on fire.
Yeah. I was going to go around here because I want to get a good view of this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
You right, can you get up there?
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, the documentary.
I want to get a good view of this because this is important.
When he lived in that house, was it?
Yeah, can't remember, in a cottage. Oh, well, yeah, because Boasty was a farmer and he looked after the field and cattle and whatnot. His granddaughter saw something. She was only young. And then just further cottage, it's a semi-detached cottage. And the bloke there, he saw something, he got so scared he went hid under the bed.
Yeah. But I've just said, Derek told us that's Capel Green over there, and Peter Robbins has given me instructions actually, because he told me if I'm ever in this area, look for that stretch of trees, and it's just beyond that stretch of trees in this direction, or in that direction towards the fence. That's where Larry saw the object landed.
Well, so it's all changed. There was a wooden fence, and Davey and Larry a load of them went chasing through it. And it's either Davey or Larry went and broke the fence to get into the field. That's how I know those two telling the truth, because both said the same story.
Yeah. As I said, Larry's role in this has been very, very understated, and Larry's like been understated by history in many ways, but he's the most important.
Hang on, there's the oak tree. That's Larry's oak tree.
Is that it?
Right, I know where I am now, because the fence, broke fence is down there at the other side of the oak tree.
Do you think we can get any closer? Should be able to. Yeah.
We can get along that way.
I'm just going to...
Grass bit. There's a bit of grass to the right now. You've got plain field and then a bit of grass that's there.
Right. Now I don't know how much you can see, Paranormal TV viewers, but I don't know if it will raise you. If I raise you up, it might help. But that over there is those trees. See if I can get the viewfinder out. Maybe that will help. That finger of trees there is the finger of trees going across Capel Green, which I showed you on the map. The gap between the brown and the green surface of the field is close. It's just on the green side of that. You can't see very well, and they put this fence up. But that is where Larry Warren reports that a UFO came down. Not only did it come down, but it was resting on that field for quite a number of times. It appeared, it materialised out of a cloud of smoke, and there were many people around it, including several police officers and military officers, and they actually sat and looked at it for quite a long time. And this fence wasn't there in those days; it was a wooden fence instead. And it was just over there, so that's quite something, isn't it? It's really just seemed... It's not kind of different to what I expected, I think, because it's kind of like... It has this kind of more positive quality than I expected, this forest. It's more... It's actually very... very light and beautiful. We have another half-fallen tree again. There's a lot of those around. Another half-fallen tree. Dot says that the oak tree fell down. The oak tree that she mentions, and Larry mentions, fell down, and that was how. That was how come the fence was broken.
And Holt will probably destroy both their stories. But Larry, funny enough, is as close as you're going to get on that particular site. That is a spot on the ley line. Now, Larry wouldn't have known that back in the day. He couldn't even know it now, I don't know. But that is on the ley line, I can tell you that much. If you look at a down map, you can follow the ley line. How I put together this picture of myself was where the Sutton Hoe burial mounds are and Orford Castle. And if you look back in history, the fact that the Scottish Queen was imprisoning Orford Castle, that
Mind out, Derek.
quite a powerful thing.
See you then.
See you later.
There's a lot of cyclists in this area, and there's a lot of UFO people come here. But that is a chap who combined the two. He's both a cyclist and a UFO enthusiast. So that's quite something. And some.
Yeah, I'll just show you the other picture.
Yeah, sure. But that is that's as much as we can see of Capel Green, unfortunately, because the tree, there's this fence and there's this undergrowth. You can't really see much of the actual landing site. Maybe you can see it better from the other side. I don't know.
We're there, the hill here, and we're looking down on it from that direction.
Let's have a look at this. It's about, I don't know, it's only about 12-15 feet across, but this was supposed to be.
This is what John Burroughs told us the genuine site was.
The first on the first night. This is the landing site.
First night, yeah.
Oh.
Is your Ataton particle detector working?
I'm afraid not. No, I'll give it. Nope, sorry.
Straight up there and gone, he said.
Well, that went through the roof, though, didn't break in any off, did it?
If it went up that fast, those branches would have.
Yeah, but it turned on its edge.
Mind you, I don't know whether these trees were here at the time. I don't know how old these trees are. Oh, let's ring count. There's a stump. We can ring count.
You cannot believe these are still here after 30 odd years.
No, that's not the indentations. Okay, we're going to ring count now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's not, this tree's too young. This one might be the right age, but
No, I wouldn't say that much older.
it's a bit thicker.
That's
But
probably the same era as that. It's just this is still
Yeah.
grown.
yeah.
However, this tree is twisted.
There's a lot of twisty trees in
That's
the forest.
energetics. It's dealing with energies.
How come it grew like this then?
Over the other forest over there, you've got loads and loads of trees like that.
We need to be able to ask the trees. I know somebody can talk to the trees.
Yeah.
Charles. Sure, what not?
Maybe I'll bring it.
That's right, mate, yeah. I'm so superior, Bill Ryan is not that guy.
No, Prince Charles.
Oh, Prince Charles, I thought. Oh, right.
Boris said
Him?
that where the
Well, you
incident
can
happened,
ask him.
right, there was absolutely no
I'm a bit busy
growth.
with that in my schedule, you know.
See the
I'm
side,
getting ready to become
and that
king.
was all got like glass. No, it's all moss growing.
What was over there?
Well, this is where he said he laid.
Oh, right.
John Burroughs laid up there on that hillock while,
Right.
while Pedeston came down towards it.
Yeah. So this is where they were. Well, then, which they approached from this direction.
Yeah, other way. They came from that way.
Is there a pathway in that direction?
I don't know. There may have been.
I mean, yeah. It's sort of like there's a clearing over there. Looks like there's like a glade.
He said he laid down there while Pedeston approached it down.
Looks like there's a glade over there of some kind. And there is that a pathway? I don't know, maybe. So this is where John Burroughs. Mind you, John has now apparently given several different stories for where he saw this happened. So we're actually very close. See, that over there is Capel Green. Do you see in the distance? You can see from here Capel Green.
Ben,
Yeah.
that tree was just a log.
Oh right, so it wasn't even grow here.
No.
Oh right, I have to find another one. But that's You see, that's Capel Green over there. So we're actually very close. We're only couple of hundred yards from where Larry Warren reports his own encounter. So the plot is thickening.
It's just over there, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
over the fence.
And that thing Miles has just pointed out, that the tree stump I thought was a tree stump is actually a log. So there's no, we don't know for certain that the tree ever grew in this area.
Time travelling log.
Oh, so there's no evidence to say it was ever.
This is the log that.
Maybe Colin, yeah.
This is the log that ricocheted the bullet from President Kennedy that James Casbolt used when Max Spears shot him.
Oh, right. So there's a lot of history behind this log.
Yeah, but Ben, Burroughs said to us that where the land site was, there was nothing grown whatsoever, nothing. The whole soil was just soil and like glass. There was nothing here at all. Well, why is all that moss growing here?
Yeah.
Why have all these hair been growing here? Somebody's chopped them down.
I think you're giving.
Yeah.
You're giving even too much.
You can see we're not the first people as well. We're not the first people to come and walk around here either. Because several people have been walking around here. You can see because there's a lot of.
There was a crowd yesterday.
Yeah.
More than there is today.
That's it. So we just basically based on the witness testimonies, we don't actually know yet where the first landing site was. Judy's witness. I don't know, but I imagine that they'd be affected. I mean, there's a new fern growing there anyway, or fern is growing.
Yeah.
Is this a real tree stump?
That's a real one.
This is not many. 1, 2, I think that's the second one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's much too young, this tree. That's about 10 years old.
Too much. Much too young.
It's much too young, girl, get out of my mind. My love for you is way out of... Sorry. Don't mean that, Panro TV viewers. I'm almost out of battery now. I've got 64 minutes on the film strip. So I think I'm going to switch off now just in case there's something else of interest.
Jonathan Marston in the car park at 25 to 8. We had a chat room with the car. We walked to the beginning of track 12. We stood at the gate there chatting for God knows how long. And then me, him and my son Matthew, we walked up here. It was a big full moon because it was all lit up along with it. It was like, well, it was a moon. It was a big moon, it was all lit up. We walked up a bit further up that way. Andrew said that he could sense evil. And he said, I feel really bad, he could sense evil, and he's gone over this way and said he could sense evil. We carried on walking, and then all of a sudden, while we're standing there, these shadow soldiers, and they were soldiers, they were fucking soldiers. About 8 or 10 of these shadow soldiers appeared beside us, and on this side we had these monks. And the monks were about that high, about that high, Andrew? They were small, weren't they, the monks? About that high. Yeah, and they had like hoods on, but you couldn't see faces. And there was about 4 or 5 of them, but it looked like you was looking at a film show. They all seemed to move together, and they sort of down, and they just seemed to move together. The shadow soldiers were sort of bobbing up and down, but the scary thing was one big fuck-off giant that must have been well over 10 foot tall that stood in front of us over here. And we walked towards it, and then we just froze, didn't we? And we decided what to do, and Andrew says, I can't breathe, and the temperature had really dropped. So at that point we didn't know Andrew had been hurt, we just thought he was cold. And then we decided what to do, we said he can't breathe, and then something whacked the tree. So we backed up, we went from here a bit further back, and then the temperature rose a little bit. And then we stood there deciding what to do. We stood surrounded by all these beings, and him and Matthew were facing the shadow soldiers.
People make of that.
And my son's going, Dad, 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 the giant. And this giant was ginormous. He just kept walking towards us. Obviously, they weren't going to let us go any further that way. That was as far, they weren't going to let us pass. It's blocking our path. I was actually going to show them Larry Warren's spot. That's what I was going to intend to do, because he was on holiday at the time, but obviously we weren't going up that far. It blocked our path. That obviously stopped us going any further. But the giant was, besides the fact it was massive, it had really long arms and really long fingers. And it looked, the head looked like an Anglo-Saxon marshal went to bird. I mean, I call it the Owl Man, but it looked a bit like an owl. I don't think it was a mask it was wearing, or that was its face. It was really frightening looking. And it just, and I remember looking at it thinking, if the three of us rush that will bounce us like rag dolls, because it was ginormous, you know. And then we backed up about another 20 foot, and we stood there, and the temperature rose a bit, so I felt like I can breathe now. He said, well, do you want to go on? I'm thinking, go on. Freaking giant standing there, we go nowhere. And we got escorted. Now you think how long this takes. We have got escorted all the way to the road, which we're going to go down, yeah? And that's a long way. We got escorted down the road, we got to the road, and then all the things around us vanished. We walked up the car park, to the little car park where we're all parked, right? And you see how long the distance that is. And then we got to the car, we opened the car doors up, lit a fag up because we were shaking. And I was one side, Matthew was the other side of the car, and my son was at the back. And so with the car door opened to let some light out, and we lit a fag up and we started shaking. And Matthew said, Dad, behind you. I went, oh, for fuck's sake. These little silvery blue things about, I don't know that tall, appeared. And they just stood there staring at us, and we stood there staring at them. And I had this feeling of being superior to them. It's probably because they only get in line. But what I mean is, that they weren't about that tall, and we stood there and we just couldn't believe it. And then the ground started to shake, like I said before, like a train or something was passing underground. And then at that point we jumped in the car, and trust me, we was real spin up that road. And we got up the road, and Andrew said, Del, can you pull over? So I pulled over, said, not here, get us out the forest, just pull over at the forest. So I got us out the forest, pulled it lay-by actually on the A12, we got through out on the A12, first lay-by. I thought he wanted to be sick. He undone his jacket, rolled up his shirt, and he had blood coming down here. Oh. He dropped his jacket. But there was no holes in his jacket or his shirt, and we just couldn't believe it. We drove back to Felixstowe, Riley, at Trimley. We walked in the door. I remember we looked at the clock, it said 5 to 10. Yeah. We knew we was here at 25 to 8 because Jonathan Marston met us here. And we stood at the car park, talked to Jonathan Marston. We walked down here, talked to Jonathan Marston. We must have been talking to him for well over half an hour. And then, like I said, we walked up here, had all this happen. There was no way we could be back at 5 to 10. When we walked in the door, my son Matthew grabbed his laptop and said, "I'll look up giants and demons." Opened up the laptop, and before he had a chance to push the button, all these demon things started happening on the computer, like something was trying to communicate with us. I said, just shut the computer. So we shut the computer down. We sat there, I took some pictures of Andrew's injuries, right? And that's the first time he's been back on my head since October 1st, 2012. It's the first time. He didn't speak to me about it until Christmas just gone. It took over a year to talk about this. My son Matthew's alright. He talks about, he's been down there, he's come down with us sometime. What I could never understand is why he got hurt and there's 3 of us stood there, he's the only one who got hurt. I didn't get hurt. Matthew.
Hello there. I'm sorry I had to end that so abruptly. The problem was the battery on the camera failed. It just went flat. So I had to cut Derek off there in mid-sentence. Basically after that not much more happened. We sort of made our way in little groups. The sort of group split up really because we were sort of like walking at different paces and some of us had to go home, so we sort of lost touch with each other after that. But we basically just walked back to the car park. As you can see, and that forest is, I didn't expect it to be so sort of peaceful and beautiful. Its atmosphere is totally different in daylight hours than it is at night. It's so pristine there, I found, and it just sounds sacred, like we were talking about how it was a sacred location for many, many centuries before the UFO landed in 1980. It's very wild, it's very desolate. So you could easily get lost in there if you don't know where you're going. And of course I didn't bring my map, did I? No. Trust me not to bring my map. But I don't think I needed it really, not when I had all these people with me. I mean, I had Derek with me and Brenda Butler, Dot Street. They know it like the back of their hand. They've been around, they spend all their time almost in that forest. So the question is now, where do we go from here? Because we've had these conferences, we've had these tours. The government know more than they're letting on about what happened. They tell us that the UFO landed, as it did, in Suffolk. Everything that went wrong with the Rendlesham Forest incident went right with this. The government couldn't keep the secret in. Thanks to whistleblowers like Larry Warren, thanks to the researchers like Jenny Randall, Dot Street, Brenda Butler, Georgina Bruni, the 4 horsewomen of Rendlesham Forest, thanks to them we knew about it only a couple of years after it actually happened. It was in the newspapers by 1983. And also Citizens Against UFO Secrecy in the United States helped enormously as well. So something strange happened in the woods that night. Something not of this world appeared in the woods. That's all we know. We can't be any more precise than that about what actually occurred in the forest that evening 34 years ago. We just know that it was something out of the ordinary. We know that the government stamped on it. They got hold of the witnesses. They subjected the witnesses to some terrible experiences in order to keep them quiet. Now I think that is a situation that has to change. Rendlesham Forest is one of the most important cases in terms of evidence and the quality of the evidence, but it's one of dozens, if not hundreds, that are very similar, like the one in Nottinghamshire I told you about, like Roswell, like Berwyn Mountains, like Westall in Australia, like all these others, like the Rua case in Zimbabwe, which I wrote about on the blog a couple of days ago because it was the 20th anniversary. All these things need to be revealed and we need to know more about them, and that is what I'm aiming for, and that is why I'm geared towards this. Now, as I said, please do get to Leeds next week if you can, to the 6th Annual British Exopolitics Expo for more information, because really that is going to be one of the greatest conferences I can imagine. I'm not just saying that because I'm in it and I'm involved, but all the right ingredients are there for a fantastic conference, so please do get to that if you can, because these are the people who are on the cutting edge of changing the world so that we do get this disclosure of whatever form, whatever definition you consider disclosure, whether the government will tell us willingly, which I doubt, or whether somehow or other there'll be another way that the information will come out, whether the ETs themselves or whatever they are will tell us, or that there's something we haven't thought of yet, some unknown factor, some extra ingredient. Anyway, thank you once again for watching Paranormal TV. Hope to see you at the weekend. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, stop the New World Order.